Well, today I wanted to try out a really quick and easy recipe. I'm working from home right now, and I've had a little bit of the try a new recipe bug lately, but I haven't had a lot of time to actually try a full-blown dinner or baked good or anything like that. But I saw on Pinterest the other day this recipe for a apple spice latte where you make your own tea blend, and I've always wanted to try making tea blends. I'm a big fan of tea. I have a whole tea cabinet, and I wanted to get into learning how to take herbs and spices and fruits and combine that with tea to make your own tea blend. And so I'm gonna take a couple minutes and play with this recipe, so feel free to watch along. As always, the link for the recipe and for the measurements and all of that will be in the description. You can find all of that information on my blog. First time filming on my stovetop, so if the angle isn't the best, I'm sorry, I'm learning. But all you're gonna need for this recipe is milk, apples, black tea, and then your spices. Now, the spices the recipe calls for are cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. I don't have cloves, so we're just gonna do without for today. But basically what you do is combine all those ingredients in a pot, and then you cook it on your stovetop covered. The recipe said to heat it up to a certain temperature. I don't have a thermometer, so my plan is I'm going to bring it to a low boil and then probably turn the heat down from there and let it kind of steep for a few minutes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking will probably work. We will see how this goes. All right, step one, I'm gonna add milk. So I want to have a lot of tea. So basically what I'm doing to measure it is I have the cup that I'm going to use. I filled that up with milk, and then I got a little creamer cup, I guess this is what it's called, I forget the name. But I got a little bit extra milk to add to that so I can fill up my cup when I'm done. And then I have a whole apple that I cut up that I'm just gonna pour in here. And then I did 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. So that's gonna get sprinkled into the pot as well. And then last but not least, I have my tea. Fun fact, this is tea that I got on my honeymoon in England. So I'm gonna add 2 tea bags to this recipe. I don't know if the tea inside is like whole leaf or if it's ground up. And I don't want, when I strain it, like individual bits of tea leaf to come through. So I'm just gonna add the whole bag and see how that goes. That might be a bad idea. We'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and just do 2. I'm gonna do 3. I'm gonna do 3 tea bags. And then we will see how strongly that steeps. Now that all the ingredients are in the pot, I'm gonna stir it, cover it, and heat it to probably medium-high and try and get it to like a low boil. And then we'll go from there. Okay, the tea is boiling, so I turned it down to low, and I'm gonna let it steep for, let's see, I'll check the instructions. This many minutes. Okay, it hasn't even been 5 minutes yet, and it smells so good. I hope it turns out well. I hope it's good. It smells really yummy. Hi, Maddie. Do y'all like having mom home? Because you get to go on the balcony? Yeah. Timer went off. It's been 15 minutes. I did a couple checks in between. But now let's take a look at our finished product. Okay, it looks really good so far. It's got a nice, like, okay. I was gonna say it's got a nice caramelly color. It's still pretty like cream colored. Well, not really, I guess. Let me turn the light on. Okay, that helped. So it's kind of a light, like tan, I guess, like a khaki color. I don't know, smells good. We will see. Now I'm going to take, what did I use? Oh yes, I have this, it's broken actually, but I have this tea strainer that I'm going to, I think, pour the contents into first, and then I'll strain it from there into my cup. I could probably do this with like a sifter or something else, but I want to make sure that I get any clumps of spices or anything like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a try. Ignore the mess that I just made, it's fine. Spilled a little tea, oh well. I'm going to go ahead and let this portion of the tea filter into the teacup, and then I'm going to actually scoop some of the apples and put them into the tea strainer, and then strain them again to try and get all the apple juice and flavor I can out of it. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Oh, fun fact, I also got this mug in London on our honeymoon. We decided when we were going to London that we had to go to a Starbucks there and try and get one of their like location mugs. So that's where this is from. Well, we are so close to tasting the tea. I am so excited. Let's do this. Plan B. It looks like the tea that we made is a little too thick for this strainer. I have a flour sifter, so I'm gonna try that instead. It's kind of all I have left to try. I'm trying to make this work. Yeah, we'll see. So that was a lot messier and a lot more difficult than I expected. But we have our tea. Let's see if I can give you all a view. It looks pretty good. It smells pretty good. It looks the way I would expect a tea latte to look. I haven't added any sweetener to it, so I might add, I have a little bit of maple syrup, and I think that that might be tasty to go with the fall theme, so I might add that afterwards, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a quick taste test. So there's a little bit of a bitter taste in there. Okay, but that's not bad. I think I may have added a little bit too many spices. It's really good though. Like, there's a little bit of that bitter, like slightly oversteeped, maybe overspiced aftertaste, but the spices are good. I can actually taste the apples, which is what I was wondering if I'd be able to do. I can actually taste the apples. It's nice and creamy. I think if I add a little bit of maple syrup, that'll probably be good. Yeah. I would add honey, but I'm honestly all out of honey. So we're making do here. But yeah, honestly not too bad. Like, again, it has a little bit of that bitter, maybe oversteeped, maybe like spice heavy aftertaste, but I think I can fix that with some sort of like sweetener. I usually can, so. Okay, so I added some sweetener. It still has a little bit of a weird aftertaste, like it's either oversteeped or something, I don't know. It's pretty good. It was just a little weird something that I can't get out of it. Overall, I feel like this recipe was okay. I really like the idea. I really like the concept. I don't think this is a bad recipe. I just think that it was a little bit harder than I was anticipating. And I think the payoff is not as good. Like it would have been a lot easier to get a very similar flavor from one of the pre-made teas I already have, which kind of duh, but the whole point is like, wanted to see if there was something that I could do that would replicate some of the teas I already have in my cabinet. So yeah, that's kind of my verdict on this recipe. I'm not mad at it. I'm not in love with it. I do enjoy it enough to where I'm gonna finish this tea. I mean, it's a cup of tea. Like, as long as it's not awful, I'm probably gonna finish it. But this was a decent recipe. If y'all have ideas of how I could improve this or what might make it taste a little better, what that bitter taste might be, let me know. I do think it was probably either oversteeping or I added too many spices, so one of those things would probably be very easy to fix. Let me know if you see any other tea blend recipes you'd like me to try. I honestly did have a lot of fun with this. Again, I love tea and I really wanted to get into making flavored tea blends, so I'm happy to try anything that y'all suggest, and I'll see you next time. Quick update on the tea. I've been drinking it for a couple hours and I actually really enjoy it. There's a little bit of that aftertaste still there. Maybe I burned it a little bit, maybe it steeped too long, but it's actually really enjoyable and I really like it with the maple syrup. So yeah, quick update.